can you explain why we still don't know the answers in Arizona in the gubernatorial race?
Well, we have election season here. We start voting about a month before Election Day, and we keep counting after Election Day forever. And we're in the process of still counting the votes. You know, I consider someone's vote their voice. I think of it as a sacred vote, and it's being trampled the way we run our elections in Arizona.
And we've seen people count hand ballots in a single day like they do in France. We want to get back to that system here in America where we count ballots at the precinct level, not in one of these big centers, because every one of the ballots that ends up here has been touched by 6 human hands. So there is an opportunity for fraud. We're not saying it's definitive. We just want to make sure it doesn't occur in our free and fair elections.
Katie Davis Court reporting for Rebel News on the ground in Arizona outside of the Maricopa County Elections Tabulation Center, where people have begun to protest of transparency. They do not think that Maricopa County is being transparent with their elections. Now, as you can see, there is a heavy police presence here today on the ground. A fence has been erected and the police are manning the fence now. When the protesters released their event flyer, conservatives encouraged people not to attend because they thought that this event would be used against them as a trap, akin to the January 6th protest. But what I witnessed on the ground was a peaceful day. They were out here making their voices heard, utilizing their First Amendment rights and waving American flags. They just want free and fair elections, and rightfully so. But before we get started, head on over to watchingarizona.com where you can keep up with Rebel News' exclusive coverage here on the ground in Arizona. Enjoy the video, you guys.
We knew when Election Day was. We've known it for years. It's pretty much set in stone. It's like showing up for the Super Bowl not ready. They had machines. 26% of the printers or of the machines, tabulating machines, weren't working. We had a third of our polling places with either machines that were down or printers that had no toner or low toner in them. And we found out some of those that were to be counted got mixed with votes that were already counted. It's embarrassing, it's wrong, and we need people who are competent running our elections.
What brings you guys out here today?
Freedom is worth, this is the minimum we can do for freedom. And the election, like we all know, even the Democrats and the liberals, loonies and all those, they know they are in the criminal side when the fraud is so blatant. There are so many questions, even in 2020, so many discrepancies, so many shady things going on, and it's right in your face. Now it's even more. They don't even really cover it anymore. So this is the least we can do. And
who do you think is going to come out on top?
Who do I think, and who do I hope? See, there's a difference, because I really hope that Kerry could get in there, because it looks like Adrian Fontes is going to be the Secretary of State, and we've seen what he did in the 2016 election. So I hope Kerry gets it. But without transparency, and when your opponents own the media and the machines, you're at their mercy.
Well, we're very concerned about the election results, and we're here to say our piece about it. So yeah, definitely.
Wow, look at this. This cape, this is amazing. 100% for Jesus. Yeah.
Nothing's going on. It's perfectly peaceful, perfectly fine. For them to accuse us of being election deniers, go tell it to Richard and go tell it to Gates. These guys are the guys who got on TV and said that our voting systems are not working. Go tell it to them.
We did want to come out and discuss one issue that's going on out there in about 20% of the vote centers. Again, we have 223 vote centers across the county. In about 20% of those, when people will go and they try and run the ballot through this tabulator, maybe 1 out of every 5 or so of those ballots, they're not going through. But this is something we've prepared for.
I mean, don't tell the people out here. I mean, people are just people, and they're going to be naturally skeptical. And I don't know if there was any shenanigans going on in 2020. I don't know. I have no idea. But I know what I saw on Tuesday morning. And these fools...
Again, we understand that there were problems that made an impact, that created inconvenience, and we're going to do better next time.
It still got me upset. So if they have anything to say about election deniers, go tell it to the guys who did nothing to prevent the sowing of more doubt in our minds.
I want to make sure that we don't have another stolen election like in 2020. You know, they're slow walking the vote. We know that. It's ridiculous that a state like Florida has 21.5 million people, and they get the results done in less than 5 hours. But here we have the Keystone idiots, and it's been 4 or 5 days, and we still don't have the results. It's an absolute disgrace. It truly is.
What's bringing you out here today?
Just want to come out and rally the troops. We want to stand for freedom, stand for the Lord. We want to take our country back.
All right, guys, there are some counter protesters that have arrived, and we're going to talk to one of them. What brought you out here today?
To get my voices heard. And honestly, with just all the conspiracy theories and everything else, even audits that happened, even with the ninja that also showed there was no fraud and everything else, I just wanted to account to that, basically, that the facts are facts and the evidence is there, and that's why I'm here. And I'm pretty sure that none of these people will agree with me or even listen to me anyway. So whatever you say, it is what it is.
I want to see some transparency with these votes. I want to know exactly where they're coming from and who they're going for. I want to know what's happening at the Runbeck location. I want to know if there's representation there, who is there, and what the counts look like. And that would help us understand what's going on.
You know what? We have some good people. We have Karen Lake, we have Blake, we have Mark Fincham, Abe. You know, we've worked so hard. We've been a part of this for so long, and I'm so proud of us, and I'm proud of being part of people who showed me I was worthy. The Patriots showed me I was allowed to stand here and talk.
You don't put all your chips on a single politician. Whatever happens, that just means to redouble our efforts to oppose things like these mandates, gender ideology in our school, holding politicians accountable no matter what they might do. Get out here, more of this. I mean, I'm afraid that if they do get their favorite politicians, if everybody who they want to win does win, everybody goes home and doesn't worry about it. That wasn't activism as far as I remember it being.
All we have to do is take back our power. And the U.S. Constitution clearly states that the state legislatures have the plenary power to oversee and conduct elections. So my question is, why do we have a county recorder's office? Why do we have a board of supervisors? Why do we have a Secretary of State's office that all three collectively oversee and conduct our elections when the Constitution clearly states that the state legislatures are supposed to do it?
I think the county's running a fair election.
No, absolutely not.
Katie Hobbs.
Last year, this fence wasn't even here. Last year, this fence wasn't here. After we came here and disputed the vote for the presidential election, which was 2020, they put this fence around it to keep us away so that we could not practice our First Amendment.
Why does it take so long for a small state, Arizona's 7 million population, to count their votes, where a much larger state like Florida, 21 million, can count them all in one night? And we've seen people count hand ballots in a single day like they do in France. We want to get back to that system here in America where we count ballots at the precinct level, not in one of these big centers, because every one of the ballots that ends up here has been touched by 6 human hands. So there is an opportunity for fraud. We're not saying it's definitive. We just want to make sure it doesn't occur in our free and fair elections.
Right, so you have a Biden and Harris sign. What do you like, or what are the greatest things that they have done so far in their presidency?
I'll be honest with you. In the primary, I voted for Bernie Sanders and everything, and I agree a lot with his policies. There are a lot of bills that would have been passed right now if we didn't have Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin. And you know what? If I were to say if I like one ticket he did, and you know what, I'll be honest, it'll be one ticket he did. It was the student loan forgiveness. There was a lot that I wish he could have done, like universal pre-K. And you know, there's a lot of things I could have mentioned, though, but that's like the best I can tell you, though, because I'm a student myself. I can relate myself to that.
Do you trust the United States elections?
No, absolutely not. No way.
Now, you see mainstream media here today. They do not like protesters outside of these election centers. They might paint you guys as what they did to January 6th, call you guys terrorists. Would you guys say that? Or would you guys say that you are peaceful?
Well, obviously we're very peaceful. There's nobody out here waving guns. There's nobody out here, you know, causing violence or threatening anybody. But what happened is the Republicans are weak-minded, okay? And they said, you know what? Let's just let them hang themselves. Let's not do anything. Let's not say anything. Let's not have a contract from big government. Let's not have candidates that are running sign a pledge that they will uphold the contract from big government. No, let's just sit back and let's let them implode, and we'll collect a few pieces here and there, and we'll manage the decay rather than actually exact real change.
we're peaceful, as you can see. We're just protesting. This is our right. But this is what they try to do with the January 6th, is try to make Americans afraid of being attacked by the justice system and by the police officers. And then when you get in court with them, they will keep you in court until you lose all of your money, and then you lose your freedom. But people like this, and I thank God for people like this who are fighting for freedom, regardless of the governmental tyrannical takeover.
So do you think Maricopa County is running fair elections?
They have been. It's only just when their candidate won and everything. It seems like if the Republican wins, it's not fraud, but when a Democrat is, it is fraud. That's the only thing I'm getting from this, you know? Like I said, even with all the evidence that's been shown, that there was like no fraud, and even with all the audit, it seems like that's not convincing. Like nothing I'm going to say right here is going to convince any of you guys.
Come out for the midterms, and I went to the place where it was all happening. So from someone looking from the outside in, this is the most corrupt place at the moment, or Pennsylvania as well.
Carrie Lake said something that gave me some hope the other day. She said that they have attorneys and security looking at the ballots and keeping a close eye on it, but I don't know if that's happening at the Runbeck location. So, folks, I think we're in a dangerous position here. Arizona should be leading the way for free and fair elections, but instead we're here talking about the same thing we were talking about in 2020.
What worries me about this election is that she did not debate it. Unlike the other politicians, like John Fetterman, he has a stroke. And you have Mark Kelly, he debated Blake Masters and everything else. If they didn't do it, how come she can't too? How is she going to govern 7 million people? But yes, she won't debate her own opponent. And I'm pretty sure Carrie Lake will agree with me on that.
Head on over to our website, watchingarizona.com, where you can keep up with our coverage, and please consider donating even just $1 or $2 to help cover our modest travel costs. We rely 100% on crowdfunding, since we refuse to take a dime from the government. That way we can stay uncorrupted. Now, if you appreciate what we are doing here in Arizona, I'm so excited to be here. Again, follow our reporting at watchingarizona.com.